Welcome, listeners, to another episode of the Chris Talk Show. And this is breaking news. Let's get into it. What's up, listeners? I am your host, Chris Talks. So we got some breaking news, and we're going to go right into it as soon as it starts, which is what's about the Menendez brothers. All right. So the LA District Attorney to announce the decision on the Menendez brothers case. All right. For y'all who don't know, the Menendez brothers, I believe, I'm gonna just get you a little history as much as I can real quick before this starts, because this is coming up live. All right, folks. So it'll be played straight through. Everything that you hear is going to be completely live. But the Menendez brothers, apparently back, I think it was like the 80s or something. I forget when, like the 90s or something, but I forget when. But these two, it made national news, international news, I think. But these two young men killed both their mother and father. Now, at the time, it was reported that it was over greed because of the, I guess, the splurge that they went on after they killed both their parents, both their mother and their father. And they were both sentenced to life. All right. So, I mean, that's as far as I think. That's what I know about it. I mean, I don't know too much more about it. All right. So, all right, I'm getting flagged down. Okay. So the guy is about to come on. So this is the DA. All right. So, all right, hit it. All right. Let it flow.
Begin by telling you that this is a case where we've had many people in this office spend a great deal of time reviewing the case. I have to tell you unequivocally that we don't have a universal agreement. There are people in the office that strongly believe that the Menendez brothers should stay in prison the rest of their life, and they do not believe that they were molested. And there are people in the office that strongly believe that they should be released immediately and that they were in fact molested. I have to tell you that after a very careful review of all the arguments that were made for people on both sides of this equation, I came to a place where I believe that under the law, resentencing is appropriate, and I am going to recommend that to a court tomorrow. What that means in this particular case is that we're going to recommend to the court that the life without the possibility of parole be removed and that they will be sentenced for murder, which, because there are two murders involved, that will be 50 years to life. However, because of their age, under the law, since they were under 26 years of age at the time that these crimes occurred, they will be eligible for parole immediately. The teams that have worked on this, on the resentencing side of it, have spent literally probably hundreds of hours by now looking at this case. These cases were originally presented on the habeas side of it, which I'll explain in a moment what that is, last year, and then the request for a prosecutor-initiated resentencing occurred earlier this year. And there have been people in this office working in these cases from the very beginning, as well as many other cases that we have. The reason why I'm here today and why I came in front of all of you about 10 days ago is because there was a more recent documentary about the case that again brought a tremendous amount of public attention. And we know there have been other documentaries, so this is not the first, this is a more recent one. And frankly, our office got flooded with requests for information. And even though this case was already scheduled to be heard in late November, I decided to move this forward because Quite frankly, we did not have enough resources to handle all the requests, and one of the things that I thrive to do in this office is to be very transparent in everything that we do. In this case, we review the prison files. And you have to understand that the way the process works, when you're talking about a sentence, a resentencing under the law, it really focuses not necessarily on what the original crimes were, but it focuses on, has the person been rehabilitated, number one, and number two, can they be released safely into the community? Under that rubric, since I've been in office, we have resentenced over 300 people, including 28 for murder. Only 4 have reoffended. If that was a regular recidivism rate in this country, we would be the safest nation in the world, but we know that it's not. In fact, somewhere between 40 and 50% of the people that go to prison reoffend and get rearrested. And that's why we have so many problems. However, when you look at the case of the Menendez brothers, you see 2 very young people. One was 19 and the other was 21 when they committed these horrible acts. And I want to underline, they were horrible acts. There is no excuse for murder. And I will never imply that what we're doing here is to excuse that behavior. Because even if you get abused, the right path is to call the police, seek help. But I understand also how sometimes people get desperate. We often see women, for instance, that have been battered for years, and sometimes they will murder their abuser out of desperation. And I do believe that the brothers were subjected to a tremendous amount of dysfunction in the home and molestation. But they went to prison for life without the possibility of parole, which meant that certainly under the law at that time, they had no hopes of ever getting out. They could have done what many other people do, which is basically said, you know what, I'm here for the rest of my life, so I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to misbehave, I'm going to join gangs, I'm going to live the life of the person. But they never did that. To the contrary, even though they didn't think that they would ever be let free, they engaged in a different journey. A journey of redemption and a journey of rehabilitation. And often the people that begin their journey of rehabilitation and redemption in prison is often very internal. And what they do, and one of our lawyers pointed out this today, is usually the path is people try to further their education, do things for self-improvement, which the brothers have done, by the way. But it's more unique or less usual, I guess, when people not only do that, but they also begin to engage in ways to make life for others better. And in this case, the brothers have been doing so for a very long time, creating groups to deal with how to address untreated trauma, creating groups to deal with other inmates that have physical disabilities and may be treated differently. Even in one case, Lyle negotiating for other inmates as to the conditions that they live under during prison. And all this was done by 2 young people, now they're not as young, that had no hopes of ever getting out of prison. They have been in prison for nearly 35 years. I believe that they have paid their debt to society, and the system provides a vehicle for their case to be reviewed by a parole board And if the parole concurs with my assessment, and it will be their decision, they will be released accordingly. I must underline, however, this case will be filed in court tomorrow. The final decision will be made by the judge. Court has to agree with my conclusion that they deserve to be resentenced. It is very possible that there may be members of this office that will be present in court opposing their resentencing. And they have a right to do so. And we encourage those that disagree with us to speak, and the court is the appropriate place to do it. We certainly feel we're very sure not only that the brothers have rehabilitated and that they will be safe to be reintegrated in our society, but that they have paid their dues, not only for the crimes that they committed, but because of all the other things they have done to improve the life of so many others. So, again, we will be filing for resentencing tomorrow. We're seeking that they would be sentenced to life with the possibility of parole, as opposed to life without the possibility of parole, which is they currently have. That means that they would have 50 years to life because there were 2 murders. But because of the age upon which they were convicted, under 26, under current law, that means they're eligible for youthful parole. I think there is also important to have some introspection today, because I think that often, for cultural reasons, we don't believe victims of sexual assault, whether they're women or whether they're men. We saw in our first trial, which, by the way, they were tried twice. The first trial hung, meaning the jury could not come to a conclusion, and in fact, about half of the jury wanted to convict them of manslaughter, which, if that were have been the case, they would have been off prison a long time ago. And then there was a second trial, and then they were convicted of murder with special circumstances, which led to the life without the possibility of parole. But it's salient to understand that our own implicit and sometimes explicit bias around sexual abuse and sexual assaults often leads us to severe injustices in our community. And I want to speak to those that are victims of sexual assault now, whether you're a man or a woman. Know that we're here for you. If you're a victim of sexual assault in this community, and by that we're talking about LA County, not just LA City, you can come for help. Whether you're prepared to prosecute or not, we will be here for you. We have services for you. And if you're prepared to move forward with the prosecution, we will evaluate it as we do any other case. And if we believe that the evidence is there to present a credible case in front of a jury that can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, we would proceed accordingly. You do not have to suffer alone. You don't have to keep it to yourself. And help is here unconditionally. I'm going to say a few words in Spanish because I know there's tremendous amount of interest from the Spanish media.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell.
Bruh.
All right, before we continue on, let's pay these bills real quick. If you like this content and want to hear more of it, hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that like button and feel free to share, okay? All right. Try my bell. All right, folks, this is the part of the show where I give my view and my opinion, and all I got to say is,
Bruh.
I don't know what they trying to really do. I mean, I can understand that they trying to sit there and trying to get them parole, because that's all it seems like to me when I was listening to that. is that they are trying to get these people, these two men, parole. That's it.
Wait, what?
I mean, that's really it. That's all they were trying to do. I do like to point out the fact that this district attorney, whatever his name is, uh, what's whatever his name is. All right, that he did mention that he doesn't support uh, the crime that they commit because no matter what, you know, uh, their father apparently did to them, they should have still reported to the police. So, you know what I'm saying? I give him a little, when to give him that much, but just a little something for him pointing that out. And if you are a victim of any kind of sexual assault, um, what was that hotline again? Or you know anybody who has been a victim of sexual assault. So you or anybody else that you know that's not willing to talk, there are ways that you can help them. If that's what you're trying to do, there are ways that you can help them. And one of the ways that you can help them is by calling this, what is this? National Sexual Assault Hotline. Yeah, a National Sexual Assault. I didn't even know they had that. I like for real. I didn't know they had that.
Bruh.
Wow, yeah, make fun of me, whatever. But you can call this National Sexual Assault Hotline, which is 1-800-656-4673, or you can use your little text joint and hit what is it, 988. So there's two ways that you can report that, and the reports are anonymous. You know what I'm saying? But if they build like the DA, like he just said, if they build enough evidence, you know what I mean? They coming for you. Like dude sound like he wasn't playing. Yeah, they coming for you. He sound like he wasn't playing. But in this case, I mean, even I feel like this. Even though the sexual assault took place, and I'm not trying to validate that in any shape, form, or fashion. Okay, these two young men still they killed both their parents.
Bruh.
I mean, the mother wasn't sexually assaulting them. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what?
Why? I'm I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Message.
I'm just saying. They still killed the mother. So
Bruh.
I don't know. My listeners, what do y'all think? Do y'all think they should get a second chance? Do y'all think they should get paroled? Do y'all think they should stay in jail? Do y'all think they should stay in jail for the rest of their lives because they murdered both of these people? I don't know. I mean, because I mean, if we're going to go by the law, because it falls under that certain law, whatever, then maybe they should be paroled. The DA did mention that only uh, four, I guess like 4 out of 10 uh, recommit crimes, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like,
Bruh. Bruh.
what? I ain't saying nothing. I'm just saying. I don't know. Maybe they rehabilitated. Maybe they are not. I don't know. My listeners, do you think that these men are rehabilitated because they have been in jail for so long? Now, this has happened a lot of times with people, they come out and, they do good, and there's a lot of times people come out and they do bad. I don't know if DA is probably supporting it. I guess I don't know. I'm not a judge, so I don't know. according to the law standards, I would say, according to the law standards, right? Um, if it fits within there, if the judge is willing to accept it, right? First, if he's willing to accept it, and second, if it fits within the law, then yeah, I would I would give them that chance if it fits within the law. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what this is exactly what he was saying. If it fits within those laws, so that's why he's fouling in the first place. Because I think that's why he's really fouling it in the first place.
Bruh.
You think it's because of the election? You think? I don't know, maybe, but I doubt it. I doubt it.
Bruh.
I'm just saying that's my opinion. What do y'all think? Listeners, what do you think? Do you think that this guy is pulling all this off because of the election? Because he's 30 points behind the election? Even we stopped it there, but if you continue that, they did question him about it, and he said he didn't want to talk about it at all. You know what I mean?
Bruh.
So they questioned him about it. He didn't want to talk about it. He said, "Yo, leave me, basically leave me the alone about the election. I'm not here to talk about the election. I'm here to talk about this situation." That's what he said. I mean, if you watch it, you'll see.
Bruh.
You've seen some of it too. If you watch it, you'll see. But to my listeners, if you watch it, you'll see. He didn't want to talk about the election. He was just focused on the case that was at hand. So, I mean, I don't know. Should they get out? To all my listeners, leave some comments. Should they get out for this? Should they get probation? Well, not get out, right? Because they just So the probation, was it parole or probation? Parole. Okay. So the parole, I kept saying freaking probation. The parole would make whatever. The parole would make them eligible for release. It doesn't mean that they would get released immediately. But to all my listeners, I'm sorry if I kept saying probation. My apologies for that one. But to all my listeners, this is the question: do you think that these two should be eligible for parole? Do you think that they should be resentenced and given that eligibility for parole? That's what I'm asking all my listeners. Do you think? What do you think? All right, leave your opinions in the comments. All right, drop my bomb. That's my view and that's my opinion on this particular episode. All right, hit it. Yeah, man. What else can you say? I don't know. All right. I want to thank all my listeners for tuning in. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me, and I so appreciate that. Also, check us out on our other social media platforms. And to all my people on the other social media platforms, try to bring yourself to YouTube and subscribe to us. Don't make fun of me. Subscribe to us on YouTube. All right, come check us out on YouTube and come subscribe to. I'm asking all my members from all the other platforms to come check us out. But all our other platforms are right there. There's a listing right there on your screen, right? You see it. So check it out. Until next episode, listeners, stay blessed and not stressed. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.